Turkey in the all-white. Philip Koku there playing the ball back. That's the Dutch band you can hear in the background trying to make themselves heard over this very boisterous crowd here in Bursa. This is the first international that's ever been played here. This town, some 4-hour drive away from Istanbul. It's an intimidating atmosphere. The crowd is very, very close indeed. And the game was brought here as an intimidation factor against the Dutch. But really, they haven't been too affected by it, Tommy, in the first half.
Well, they haven't. They still have their band out there playing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah. So, I mean, they can't be in that bad a shape, can they?
Free kick then to Turkey to be taken on that far side by Abdullah. Abdullah floating this one in. Away there by Arthur Newman. Knocked forward by number 2 there, Ilka. His 8th appearance today for Turkey. Nice by-play that time, getting inside the penalty area is Tayfun.
Well, he decided to foul after he ran against Frank de Boer, but the referee wasn't having any of that, Mike.
Here's Frank de Boer again. Van der Sar. Now the Dutch trying to go through the direct route to goal there and trying to pick out Patrick Kluivert. Ugun, the player who plays for Trabzonspor, 27 years old, his 47th appearance today for Turkey. Player who operates at the back and brings a lot of experience to that back line. As we've got appeals for handball.
Oh, that's very harsh. I mean, the man tried to get out of the way and the ball hit him.
Well,
the referee's saying that he played it. I don't think so.
Wim Jonk got a yellow card for something very similar in the first half.
Oh, this looks like it could be a Frank de Boer special from here. He loves to hit them from here.
Yeah, it just might be the wrong side of the goal for him. Wim Jonk may fancy his chances. Frank de Boer, essentially left-footed, likes to take them from the other side, from the right-hand side. He still may fancy his chances, but Wim Jonk is there. Couple of goals in World Cup qualifying so far. It's going to be Wim Jonk. Well, he got right underneath that. It was always rising and continued to rise.
Like I said, they should have let Frank de Boer hit it instead of running over it. Wim Jonk just doesn't even come close, Mike. I mean, this one's way over the top.
Bruce too with a long goal kick there. Seedorf trying to play that one through, looking for Patrick Kluivert. Netherlands side, like Turkey. Major disappointment in Euro 96. Turkey, in fact, failing to score in their 3 matches. The Netherlands getting through the quarterfinals, but only rather fortunate to do that ahead of Scotland. And then really failed to make any impression after they made it through to the quarterfinals. Of course, they were humiliated at Wembley, losing 4-1 to England in what was England's perhaps best performance of Euro 96.
Oh, Patrick Kluivert coming on that day as a sub, Mike, scored a very important goal which put Holland into the next round. Only for that, they were in trouble. They would have been gone home early. A lot of dissension racked the team, but they've played very well since then. I think they managed to mend their fences that day.
Yes, they often do that when qualifying starts for major tournaments. But then as the tournament gets closer and the finals approach, they seem to bring up all the old problems. They seem to surface every time there is a major international tournament. But the only times they didn't surface was in 1988, when they actually won the European Championship. Certainly they came to a fore in Italy in 1990 and again in the US in 1994. A lot of distension. We also saw it in England in Euro 96. And Turkey, of course, failing to score in their 3 games. Losing to Croatia, losing to Denmark and losing to Portugal. Now Hakan Suka He just couldn't get on the end of that through ball, but he had got away from his marker, and that should be, Tommy, a danger sign for the Dutch.
Well, he snuck his way in between a couple of defenders, Mike, and found himself free, just roaming inside of the box. Van der Sar come out and beat him to the ball, but that was the best move that Turkey has made so far today.
Here's Frank de Boer. Kluivert. Kluivert just seems very tentative in everything he does at the moment. You just wonder, Tommy, if in the back of his mind is that big money contract that comes into force on the 1st of July, the move to AC Milan, and perhaps just a little bit of self-preservation out there. Now, here's Hakan Suka. But he does seem tentative, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's not playing with the same verve as he's always played with. He doesn't have the sharpness at all. I mean, he did miss a lot of time this year, Mike, with injuries and things like that, so maybe he's just not 100%.
Well, finishes up there in smiles. Kluivert there committing the free kick. Committing the foul, in fact, that results in this free kick.
Well, you see him just going over the top. Pulls down the Bülent coming forward.
Now, Aaron Winter. Abdullah. Good intercept. Tugay. Now, Ilka. Abdullah on the far side. Ball nodded clear.
Well, it looks like ultimately they always go back to Abdullah, Mike. He's their go-to guy.
This is better from Turkey, as they're just trying at the moment to lull the Dutch defenders forward. Abdullah knocking it back that time. This is Ogun. Caught in possession that time as Tugay, but he recovered well. This is the captain, Bülent.
Turks are holding on to it, Mike, but they seem to be going backwards instead of going forwards.
This is certainly better from them. At least they keep in possession, which in the first half they were given away too easily. Now Tugay. They've been able to release Ilka and Suka.
Oh, what a brilliant goal. Ilker is the man who comes up along the right-hand side. He looks up, he's going to feed it across, and here comes Suker into the picture right there, and there's the bulge in the Olongian bike as he puts Van der Sar the wrong way. I mean, that was a brilliantly worked goal. I was critical of them holding on to the ball for so long, but they made it pay off in the end. Look at the timing. Jap Sam can't get up to it. Hakan Suker does, and he puts it away. Brilliant timing, brilliant goal.
The goal coming in the 53rd minute. Hakan Suker, his third goal in World Cup qualifying. Turkey 1, the Netherlands 0. And Gus Hiddink side, well, they were really caught out. Turkey pushed the ball around, but then they were able to release Ilka. And he had so much time, so much space. Picked out Hakan Suker. The ball's in the back of the net. Now Frank de Boer. Kluivert. Kluivert. Not quite having that yard of pace to get away from Bülent.
Oh, you can imagine now the Turks are going to play some tough defence, Mike. If they were finishing off on their tackles before, they're really going to come hard with them now.
Oh, the goal coming in the 53rd minute. Still plenty of time for the Netherlands. Reisinger tries the shot, comes off the defender. The Dutch will get a corner.
Oh, you're going to see there's the ball played across. Ilker plays it across. Look at that. Japstam can't get there. Suker has it measured perfectly.
But Ilka there did so well because the ball was pushed around in midfield. He got down this flank. Nobody from the Dutch side tracked him.
Oh, he was all alone. I mean, I mean, they did what the Netherlands did just before half-time, Mike. They just kind of lulled them into keeping the ball. They must have had 25 touches on the ball before that ball came across.
Roos 2 with a clearance. And in the air that time by Jaap Stam. Jonk loses out. Abdullah got there first. Now the shot coming in, and that wasn't too far wide from Tugay.
Oh, once again, Abdullah is the man who sets him up, and Tugay fires one just wide of the post. Great opportunity. He hits it well, and Van der Sar wouldn't have known about it. Here's what Van der Sar saw. Good strike on the ball, Mike. It's really travelling very well.
Now Kluivert, Seedorf. Roos 2 comes up with the big save. Chances at both ends. Clarence Seedorf was the player denied. Roos 2 there, stopping him with his legs. And now a corner for the Netherlands. Well, you can see the ground here. The Ataturk Stadium, small and compact, intimidating. As Kluivert, Jaap Stam goes in, and goalkeeper came and got it ahead there of Jaap Stam.
What a brilliant save the keeper made before that, but I mean, he kicked it out.
They are the Turkish supporters. As Roos 2 there bravely comes out as Jaap Stam was the player coming in. Now Ronald de Boer into the path of Kluivert. Just hasn't got that yard of acceleration, that hunger that we're used to seeing from him. So I mean, that was a good example of it then. The two defenders just got in front of him and that was it.
Yeah, but the one thing that you can see now with the Netherlands, Mike, is that goal was a kind of a wake-up call. Starting to play with a little bit more urgency, which could catch them out of the back because they're starting to push many more players forward.
That came off of Jaap Stam, so that's going to be a corner. Just hitting looks on. The English Premier League here on Monday, live from Ellen Road in Leeds. It's Leeds United against Blackburn Rovers. And you'll be able to see that live here on ESPN. Two teams away from the relegation zone at the moment, but there's some funny results happening. Anything can happen. You can catch all the action from Ellen Road in Leeds. Here in World Cup qualifying, Turkey leading the Netherlands by a 0-0. Abdullah with the corner now for Turkey. Hitting it very, very deep.
It's an unusual variation on the corner.
Yeah, he's got the ball back. We'll try to take it to the byline. Faced there by Wim Jonk. And Jonk there sticking to his task well. A throw now for Turkey.
Well, I'm sure the Turks realise, Mike, at this stage that it's much too early to start defending. They're not going to go into a defensive mode yet. I don't think you can go into a mode like that against the Netherlands for 30 minutes and win.
Abdullah there just knocking the ball back. Mark Overmars starts to warm up, so does Pierre van Hooijdonk.
Oh, two men that certainly could change the outcome of a game. Certainly Van Hooijdonk in rare form coming on as a sub in these qualifiers.
They're scoring for the Netherlands regularly. Hasn't started scoring yet for Nottingham Forest. We're paying his £4.5 million transfer fee. Forest can do with his goals, of course. They're in the relegation zone in the Premier League. As this one is played long. Suka, and the ball just bounced away there from Hakan Suka.
Oh, he got a very unkind bounce there, Mike. Had it bounced right to him, he could have been in for number 2.
Hakan Suka. That was his 17th international goal. This is his 36th international appearance as Aaron Winter slides that one through. Ball goes out of play. You're watching the road to World Cup 98 from European Group 7, the Ataturk Stadium here in Bursa in Turkey, where Hakan Suka has scored in the 53rd minute. It's the home side Turkey who are leading the Netherlands by 1-0. Along with Tommy Smith, I'm Mike Hill as we come up towards the hour mark. Well, they picked this ground, Tommy, because of its intimidating atmosphere. It's very intimidating now for the Dutch.
Oh, it certainly has a good crowd noise level in it, and they're sitting on top of them, so you can see it's just unnerving the Dutch just a little bit, Mike. Maybe enough to cause them a few problems.
And here's Jaap Stam. Frank de Boer. Patrick Kluivert coming deep. Cocu. Now Newman.
Oh, Cocu's had a disappointing kind of an evening, Mike. He hasn't been involved at all.
And Aaron Winter, after a very bright start, also seems to have faded off the scene slightly.
Well, you wonder if they'll make the same switch where they take off Winter and bring on Overmars.
Seedorf there, and actually turning as he was just bumped by an opponent. Ball came off his heel and went through to Roostu. Very passionate supporters here in Turkey, not only of the national team but also of the Big Four in club football. Fenerbahce, of course, this year causing a few surprises in the Champions League. Galatasaray have caused them also in the past.
Oh, Galatasaray probably changed the European Cup forever, Mike, that then when they knocked Manchester United out. Everybody decided to take a second look and it became a different competition, didn't it?
Yes, and Fenerbahce nearly knocked them out this year, of course. Remembering Fenerbahce, the first team to win a European tie at Old Trafford when they beat Manchester United 1-0. Certainly there's a feeling all around Europe as Overmars and Van Hooijdonk continue to warm up. The Turkish football very much on the up and up. Club sides are doing well. Turkey, of course, qualifying for Euro 96. And things looking up for them very much at the moment because they lead the Netherlands by 1-0. Newman plays it back. Now Frank de Boer. Cocu. Here goes Wim Jonk. Seedorf trying to turn. Shot goes wide, but it took a ricochet.
Oh, the keeper was mesmerised there. For some reason, Mikey doesn't come out to cover the ball. Seedorf almost finds the empty net.
Clarence Seedorf, 21 tomorrow.
He was looking for a penalty call.
Wim Jonk to take the corner. Those two waits. Wim Jonk with the corner, flicked on at the near post by Reisiger. Roostu takes it safely.
Well, Jaap Stam keeps coming up for those corners, Mike, but he hasn't made any contact at all.
Roostu, who looks very solid in goal for Turkey. Still only 23 years old. Tonight, his 25th appearance. Now, here's Wim Jonk. Reisiger. This is Ronald de Boer playing that one through. Now Wim Jonk. Looking for Reisiger on the overlap. Ball goes out of play. It's a throw on the far side.
Oh, Abdullah has done so much work and he's still working hard, Mike. You got a boot to that one.
Now Wim Jonk. Reisiger. It's going to be a corner for the Netherlands.
Guess who knocked it out?
Abdullah again. No wonder he's got a pained look. He has worked so hard in this game. Pierre Van Hooijdonk is waiting to come on as this corner is taken. I'm surprised the Dutch didn't try to get it on before the corner. He is so dangerous in the air. But now they've got to have players chasing back as Turkey break quickly.
Oh, Turkey had a man open on the far side, Mike. They didn't use him.
Newman, one of the players back. Yep, Stam there, not the best of clearances. Newman got his head to it. Now to Guy. Playing this one through, cut out there by Aaron Winter. Well, I think it's a player who's going to be taken off, in fact, to allow Van Hooydonk to come on.
Well, they seem to have a 7.
Now Philip Koku. Reisinger on the far side. Here goes Wim Jonk over the halfway line. Seedorf has made a run through. There's Seedorf. I think I said it was his 21st birthday tomorrow. In fact, his 21st birthday was yesterday. Ronald de Boer. Reisinger. Aaron Winter. Released out of play on the far side.
Oh, that may allow them the chance to get him on.
Pierre Van Hooydonk. Now he will come on. He's a different type of player to Winter. Winter plays in midfield. He's a player who sets things up. Van Hooydonk, really just an old-fashioned target man, a centre forward.
Oh, and he gives them a new dimension, Mike. He gives them an air game which they don't have. You got to feel that he's going to partner Patrick Kluivert up, and Koku will drop back a little bit deeper probably to cover off.
Well, Aaron Winter comes off. Today his 63rd appearance, 9th all-time appearance maker now for the Netherlands, tying with Willy van der Kerkhoff. He comes off, and Pierre Van Hooydonk, just his 6th appearance for the Dutch national side.
Oh, the man who did so well with Celtics now has moved on to England. And Winter can't be very happy about it, Mike. That's 2 games in a row now he's been substituted for. Though he'd lasted an awful lot longer this time than the last time.
Yes, Aaron Winter at the moment is having a few problems with his club. Inter Milan. He's had a falling out with Roy Hodgson. Not a regular in the Inter Milan side.
Well, he would love to have had a couple of good games here, kind of to prove the coach at the club level wrong, but he didn't get any ammunition to fire back with.
Some activity now on the Turkish bench. The number 13 is Hakan Ünsal, and also warming up there is the number 16, Tayfur. Just his 3rd appearance if he does get on for Tayfur, 26 years old. Turkey certainly looking towards the future. There's a number of changes since the Euro 96. Some of the 4 more familiar names. Recep is no longer in calculations, nor is Arif. Kemalatin is also on the outer at the moment. Crowd in great voice. Plenty to celebrate at the moment. And Rustu, the goalkeeper, has come up with a couple of very important saves. As Hakan Suka chases this one through, just putting Van der Sar under pressure. Now Yapstam. Reisinger. Oh, the Turkish crowd don't like this from the Dutch side of passing the ball back. I would think they'd be delighted, Tommy. I mean, they are leading.
Oh, it seems like they just want to see football. I mean, they're really giving the boo birds to the Dutch side at the moment.
Ball played through, Seedorf. Rustu got there first.
Oh, and he came off his line like a shot at him, like he needed to, because Seedorf was in all alone. Seedorf's been getting himself into good positions like that lately.
As a lot of people feel his best position is just behind the striking pair. He's got great vision for midfield, but he's also got a very good finish, and he can see opportunities. And that time the goalkeeper got out very, very quickly. He needed to as well, because Seedorf had lost his marker.
Oh, Seedorf walked in alone on him.
Hakan Ünsal is the player who comes on, and going off is the number 11. So he goes off, and Hakan Ünsal is the player that comes on, a midfielder. So a throw on the far side. Thiel is the player who has gone off, plays for Samson Sport, just his third appearance today. As we've now got a throw on the far side for the Netherlands. Now Wim Jonk, Frank de Boer. One thing you do have to say, Tommy, is that Turkey, whenever the Dutch side start these little intricate moves, Turkey get a lot of players behind the ball. They keep their shape well.
Yeah, and they're not in the least bit intimidated, and I think that's what the crowd are trying to do, Mike, rather than get on the Dutch side. They're trying to intimidate them with all the noise, trying to throw them out of their rhythm just a little bit.
Arthur Newman plays it square.
Well, the one thing the Netherlands know, even if they lose this one, Mike, they're still in pretty good shape, so it's not the end of the world for them. But it's a great